Good morning, Coach Stu here. I hope everybody is really good. It is 7:17 Sunday morning here in Bangkok, Thailand, and this morning I am on my way to do a workout, so I thought I would take you along with me. I've been here 11 years in Thailand and not really shown anything about my life here in Thailand or Thailand itself, so I'm going to take you along for the ride, but as some added value, as a coach, as a human performance coach, I thought I would address a problem or talk about a problem that a friend of mine asked me about a few months ago, which was how to maintain motivation to keep going with exercise. So I'm going to make this video hopefully a little bit sort of entertaining, a little bit educating to get this edutainment thing going on. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to grab some brekkie at McDonald's, so come along with me, and yeah, let's do it. Okay, so let's start to deconstruct and see if we can get something useful on this subject of the psychology of exercise motivation. So what would be something really useful for what would be some technique, some tactic, some strategy that would be useful in order to help us maintain motivation for exercise? So I think the first thing to do is it's knowledge, right? It's education, it's wisdom. The first thing to realise is that you cannot think yourself into motivation. You can get moments of inspiration from thought, which is like the initial part of motivation, right? It's some inspiration to do something, to achieve something. But when it comes to motivation itself, don't try and think yourself into motivation. Look at the word motivation. It seems to indicate motion activation, so motion activated. So when you actually move and you use your body, then you will change the biochemistry, depending on the type of movement that you do. So think about it this way: when you start to dance, when people dance, they feel happy, right? They get happy. Why? Because the expression changes the biochemistry and releases the feel-good chemicals like endorphin. And so that's the same with motivation. Is don't try and think yourself into being motivated. You have to sort of not think and just take the action. And when you take the action, then you get the feeling. The feeling comes, and then when the feeling comes, your thoughts start to change as well. And you get this feel-good thing. So when you're in this feel-good kind of state, your thoughts just sort of follow, and they then focus on all the good things that are around you. Yeah, life just seems good in general when you're in that state of mind. So that's my first little strategy, a little bit of awareness is you can't think yourself into motivation, or that's my belief, is you can't think yourself into motivation. You just move and you activate yourself, and then you change your biochemistry and you start to get them feel good feelings coming through. So move, don't think, feel, to quote Bruce Lee there. Let's keep going to McDonald's. Okay, here we go. We've arrived at McDonald's, so I'll grab my brekkie, we'll pull over, and I'll eat my brekkie, have a coffee, and we'll talk a little bit more about motivation and exercise. So here we go.
สวัสดีครับ
เอา sausage egg muffin ครับ
ครับผม
แล้วก็ลาเต้ร้อน
ได้
ค
ร้า
รับ
นใช้กลางนะครับ
สายกลางครับ
ครับผม2รายการนะครับ
ครับ
เลื่อนรถชำระเงินและต่างหัดมาแล้วหนึ่งครับ
ครับอะไรนะครับ
เลื่อนรถชำระเงินและต่างหัดมาแล้วหนึ่งครับ
ได้ครับได้ครับ Okay, so I've got a little sausage and egg muffin, coffee, a little bit of protein, carb, a little bit of protein in the morning. I've also got a coconut protein shake going on as well, which is delicious. So while we're waiting, let's talk a little bit more about motivation. So we said we've learned so far that it's difficult to think ourselves into motivation, but if we move, it's almost like motivation comes like the during or post workout. So that's just an understanding, is that don't try and overthink it, just take the action. So let's question, well, why might you not take the action in the first place? Well, because exercise is there's this, if you think about it this way, no pain, no gain. So it's been marketed as being this painful thing. So the first thing I'd like to do is relabel that sort of no pain, no gain. What I call it is transient discomfort. So transient, it's not going to last forever, and it's not painful. It's discomfort. Let's just say it's sort of discomfort and not pain. Because often, like, pain leads to suffering and all that sort of stuff, and we just don't want to go there. It's transient, it's not going to last. You're pumping a bit of iron, your heart rate's up, you're sweating a bit. As soon as you stop, you're going to come back to a recovery state. So it's transient. That's one thing. And two, it's not pain, it's just a change in body sensation. You're going to get, like, yes, your temperature goes up, and yes, you start to feel sort of lactic acid accumulating in your muscles and stuff. But like I say, once you stop, it comes back to your sort of pre-workout state. So let's not label it pain, let's label it transient discomfort. That, and let's make an addition to that, that leads to a long-term positive gain. Okay, because not all pain leads to a long-term positive gain, right? Especially something if there's an injury in your body or whatever. So relabel it transient discomfort rather than pain. Okay, just if you're going to use your mind in the process, well, you are going to use your mind in the process. Let's direct it in the right way. Okay, just waiting for my breakfast now. So I've got my brekkie, I've got my egg and sausage sandwich, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs. I've got a coffee here. Now from McDonald's here, I'm going to make my way over to the gym. So let's do it. Let's go. pokey, so I've arrived here at the gym now. I'm just going to grab me brekkie. So I've got my sausage and egg muffin, so not too bad. A little bit of protein. Oh, something's not right. Ow. Okay. No sausage, just egg. Okay, never mind. That's fine. And we've got a coffee. All right, so let's try it. It's food, right? It's food. So far, we've learned that motivation comes from movement. You can't think yourself into motivation. Motion, activate motion. And it just a sort of a footnote with that as well is, if you think about, we're looking at words, right? If you think about motivation, motion, we've got emotion in there, right? So that's the connection to the biochemistry, is that when you get the movement, you get a shift in your emotions, and you're going to get them feeling good emotions coming through as you start to move. And then the second one was that we have to just be aware of the meanings that we make around things, the labels that we attach to things. So, for example, a limiting belief would say exercise is painful. A more empowering belief would be exercise is transient discomfort that leads to a long-term result, a long-term gain. And then attached to a long-term gain is like health, a great physical body, confidence, the fact that you're consistent in achieving goals that you've set. So we can build some what we call schema around, some framework around that sort of belief system that's in there. So empowering beliefs, the meanings that we attach to. So if we're using the brain, we're using the psychology, let's use it in a very smart way. Let's create good positive meaning around it, and we can stack the value in there with the focus. So there we go. And tip number 3, while I'm having my brekkie, strategy number 3 is, let's go back to the movement thing, right? So there's something to be aware of, is this concept of momentum. And everybody knows what momentum is. It's as something starts to move, it can gain speed, right? It can gain speed, and it can gain power and force as it starts to move more and more. So we have that inside ourselves in terms of our focus, in terms of our doing, what we do. So for example, we need to sort of consider that, okay, I don't have to go to do some exercise and have this 45 an hour, 2 hours of like real intensity. Just start like small. Just think, right, I'm going to go there, I'm going to mobilize my joints, I'm going to stretch off, and I'm going to do a little bit of cardio and take my heart rate up to into sort of a comfortable aerobic zone. And then what happens is the power of momentum will kick in, and you will want to do more. You will just start to do more. That's just a natural thing that happens to us. It's like, I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, you start to lie back a little bit, and then you're looking at social media or something on Netflix, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we get really good at that, and it's because of this the power of momentum. And then it's difficult to shift because there's an inertia involved in that. So what can we do? Well, we can just have this awareness of, like, I understand that this power of momentum is a normal thing within the human psychology, and I start small. I just think, right, I'm gonna do this 10 minutes, whatever, stretch, mobilize, a little bit of cardio. I'm gonna do a warm-up set, and for sure 100% that power of momentum will kick in, and you'll be like, right, I'll just do another set, just one more set, or I'm just going to do an extra 5 minutes on there. It will kick in for sure. So there we go. Understand and be aware of the power of momentum, and that you just need to get the ball rolling. It'd be like a car just sort of resting at the top of a hill. If you just push it a little bit and it goes over, as it goes down the hill, it will gain more momentum and more speed, and then it becomes very powerful, right? It becomes powerful because there's a lot of force involved in that. You have that too. So there we go. Tip number 3, understand the power of momentum and how to start the ball rolling. Okay, I'm going to eat this food and then I will see you in the gym.
Said she tired, little money, need a big boy. Pull up 20-inch blades like I'm Lil Troy. Now it's everybody flocking, need a decoy. Shorty mixing up the vodka with the liquor. G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. All the housewives pull it up. I got a lot of toys. 720 years coming for that boy. You was talking in the beginning. Back when I was feeling unforgiving. I know you want to see me winning. See the igloo in my mouth and I be grinning. Yeah. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. On the deep when I roll like the army. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. And your grandma probably know me. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. On the deep when I roll like the army. Keep my bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. And your grandma probably know me. Keep my bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. Everywhere I go, catch me on the block like I'm Mutombo. 750 Lambo in the Utah snow. Trunk in the front like a Dumbo. Cut the roof off like a nip tuck. Pull up to the house with some big butts. Turn the kitchen counter to a strip club. Me and Drake came for the. When I got quiet, all of y'all disappeared. Before I dropped something, none of y'all really care. Now they always say congratulations to the kid. And this is not a 40, but a point. Used to have a lot, but I got more now. Made another hit, cause I got more now. Always going for it, never put fourth down. Last call, Hail Mary, Prescott, touchdown, yeah. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. On the deep when I roll like the army. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. And your grandma probably know me. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow.
skiing the bike. And here's another little tip on the motivation to exercise, is realise that living inside of you and everybody is a motivated and a demotivated person. So the question is, where are you living most of the time? and understand that that is just part of the psychology, right? It's part of the contrast. We've got to have that contrast, because then we know what we don't want and we know what we do want, and then we need to focus on what we do want and spend the time in that psychology. And then maybe this person, a demotivated, pulls us back in a little bit and says, listen, take a break, chill out, have a cheat day, or whatever it is. So we need to use that sort of contrast intelligently. We need to first of all understand that we've got these two voices. You could say like the angel and the devil situation or whatever. So just question yourself, where do you live? Hear them voices, understand that inside of you, that's inside of you, and then start to consider, well, how could I live more in the motivated side? But also understand that sort of contrast is pulling you back a little bit so you don't burn out and you strike a balance in there. The contrast is there for balance. However, we want to focus on what we do want rather than what we don't want. If you keep focusing on what you don't want, definitely your motivation's going to go down, right? If you get in your head, you're dead, right? So understand it, and then living, working and pulling in them emotions, doing them little things that make you feel good every day, and then you're living in your Mr. Motivated or Mrs. Motivated mindset. Okay, I'm going to get set up on this workout. Take a few shots of training, but not too much, because you don't want to watch me get sweaty. Go out and get sweaty yourself.
Said she tired, little money, need a big boy. Pull up 20-inch blades like I'm Lil Troy. Now it's everybody flocking, need a decoy. Shorty mixing up the vodka with the liquor. G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. All the housewives pulling up. I got a lot of toys. 720 years coming for that boy. You was talking in the beginning. Like when I was feeling unforgiving. I know you want to see me winning. See the igloo in my mouth and I be grinning. Yeah. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. On the deep when I roll like the army. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. And your grandma will probably know me. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow.
Okay guys, about halfway through now, just in the middle of me doing my chest. I'm going to move on to triceps. So I've got some bench press, going to do some dips, some overhead extensions and stuff. So I'm going to give you a really simple tip and something a little bit more technical, a little bit more complicated. Simple one is make sure you stay hydrated, and I don't mean just sipping through the workout. I mean on a daily basis, make sure you're getting plenty of water in, hydration. Because your dehydration is going to seriously affect your energy and your ability to focus. So make sure you're getting ample water in a day. If you want to work out how much you should have for you, then just go online and do that. So this is about psychology, right? This is about the motivation, but that will affect it, because you're not going to feel like it if you're tired. If you've not got the focus because of dehydration, you're not going to get the psychology right. So here is something pure psychology. Now, the very mindset that you need to have consistent motivation for exercise lies within the exercise itself, within doing the exercise itself. So what do I mean by that? I mean, there are different states of mind, or mind frequencies we could call them. Now, the mind fluctuates at a specific frequency. Now, I know this is technical, but stay with me, bear with me. So the mind fluctuates at different frequencies. Now, the more focused you are, the more stressed you are, the more that your mind's going to fluctuate at a very fast pace. So if you think about, we spoke about the power of momentum, the faster it is. If you're at the bottom of the hill now and the car's coming fast with force, definitely harder to stop, right? So just understand that your mind fluctuates, and when it's fluctuating really fast, it's hard to stop. Now, as you work out, it's like meditation. The same thing happens in meditation. So you're focused, you're stressed, you're anxious. Your mind is like this. It's in like what we call a beta gamma state. It's really, really going at it like that, right? Imagine like if you saw it on some sort of electrical machine or measures frequency, you'd see it like this. Or think about your heart rate during exercise. It's up, right? It's beating faster. Your mind fluctuates faster. Now, during exercise, guess what? Yes, your heart rate goes up, but this mind pulsing, this mind fluctuating slows down. And that is the key to unlocking the motivation to exercise, because it's in that space that you're able to think more creatively. And that is your key to motivation, is you've got to create, you've got to become creative. And what I mean more than that is you've got to get into what we call this flow state in life, where you're completely relaxed but you're performing at a high level. So that's where you've got to get into. You want flow state in your mind, and flow state comes from challenge and skills coming together. Then you get into flow. So for example, if you've got a lot of challenge in your life and low skills, you're going to be feeling stressed, right? High skills, low challenge, you're going to be feeling bored. So what we want to do is get into this situation where we're engaging flow state, the balance between challenge and skill. And that sort of mind chemistry happens during exercise. Okay, back to the bench press.
Said she tired, little money, need a big boy. Pull up 20-inch blades like I'm Lil Troy. Now it's everybody flocking, need a decoy. Shorty mixing up the vodka with the liquor. G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. All the housewives pull it up. I got a lot of toys. 720 years coming for that boy. You was talking in the beginning. Back when I was feeling unforgiving. You know you want to see me winning. See the igloo in my mouth and I be grinning. Yeah. On the bands in my pocket, it's on me. Only deep when I roll like the army. Keep my bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow.
Okay guys, so the workout was done. It's now actually 12:59, so after the workout I did a bit of work, and I want to give you my final tip, my final strategy, my final piece of knowledge around the concept of motivation and exercise is make sure you include lots of variety in your training routine, in the types that you do, in the places that you do it. Include variety, because if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, for sure we're going to lose motivation. So variety is actually a human need. It's not something that you want, it's something that you actually need. So get lots of variety, and that will help keep your motivation high. So that's it for now. I'm not sure whether this video will be on a channel that you could subscribe or like, but if it is, please subscribe, like, ring the bell for notifications of when I do upload more videos. And if you want to leave a comment below on any of the tips and the tricks and the strategies, or on any subject in terms of motivation, performance that you want me to cover, then sure, I can do that for you. It'd be a pleasure. So I hope it's been of value. Have a really, really, really great day, and I will see you in the next one. Join me on my journey home. See you later. Alligator in a wild crocodile. Here's a little bonus tip for you. I'm driving home and it's just popped in my mind. It's like another crucial element of staying motivated to do exercise is obviously you want to get a result, right? You want to get a result, that's important. So we need to sort of acknowledge any little results that we're getting. It doesn't have to be big, the fact that we're getting a result. You know, the result could be that we're just feeling better, we have more energy. Yeah, we're noticing some tone coming through or reduction in body fat or whatever. Clothes that we're wearing are fitting differently. That's great. That's not the bonus. The bonus tip is your peer group are massive when it comes to your behaviour, right? Because the people that you surround yourself with, if you're with people that are exercising and really going for the goal, and you hang with them, then it's going to have some impact on you, right? Because we either rise or fall to our peer group. So just make sure that your networks, you're getting in with and hanging around with the people that are doing that and achieving that, and that goes into all areas of your life, right? So there you go, bonus tip. Think about your peer group. Is it supportive of your pursuit of success within exercise? Okay, there we go. Peace out.